Filmed a ton of podcasts over at Riverside, but the ones in person are just so much more personable.
It's better, man. We're fucking humans, you know. We're creatures.
Yeah.
We want to look at each other. We don't want to be digital on everything.
Yeah, body language is huge. Eye contact is huge. Just like communicating other ways besides just speaking.
And that's like the push where, you know, we're nervous about AI taking over a lot of different things, and we're nervous about just the transitionary period that we're in life, business, personal, everything, just with all this computing power that's happening so rapidly now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I have to remind myself and everybody that has those worries and quarrels, it's like, yeah, but people are going to always be connected to that interpersonal stuff. Like they want to feel realness. It's
hardwired.
Yeah, you don't want that fake shit. That's why during quarantine we all hated it. We not just because we were, you know, alone and the world was going to fucking shit. We hated it because we couldn't be around other humans. We're tribal creatures.
Yeah.
You know, that's the brotherhood. That's everything that we go through, the gym and, you know, coming together through fitness, all these different things. We want to be together. That's the big thing. That's the big reason. That's one of the reasons of why. Erik, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Cheers. Mr. Tom.
I don't have a rain, but
Cheers
I have
to
the Shilajit.
Cheers to the Shilajit.
I have the disgusting resin.
So because you talk so much about Shilajit, we're going to get it over with.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it now. Right out the gate. What is it? I did a little research on it because Tom has spoken about it a lot. Tom, show.
Am I focusing?
Nope.
No, I'm
it's
not
manual focused.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's got to get behind there and focus it.
There it is. So, well, when I had low testosterone last year, to sum up a long story short, I won't get too into it, but when I had low test last year, I met Erik at the perfect time because I had no libido. I was depressed. I felt weak as shit in my workouts, and I got my blood work tested, and they recommended me to take clomiphene. So I spent $600 and bought a little fucking tub of it. It was like shit from Mississippi in a little tablet from a pharmacy. I'm like, all right. I started taking it, and then I found out that correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't work unless you are on steroids. If you're on PEDs.
Yeah. Oh, clomiphene?
And clomiphene,
yeah. So I started researching. Yeah, I started researching it, and then I didn't really feel a difference. And then somebody told me that you can only take it if it works unless you're on drugs, if you're on steroids. So I met Erik. He started coming down to the gym, and then he gave me the tablets to take, and then I started switching to the resin, but I started doing both. And as soon as I started taking this, I just felt so much better. The first thing I noticed was my mood. After that was like the libido started coming back, like just my enthusiasm. And I started to get stronger in the gym. Just my overall test level started raising. And it took like 2 or 3 months for me to really dive into the benefits of it. But after I started taking this, I was like, that's it. I'm hooked. I'll be taking this forever. It's great.
And so now how is it harvested? Because I did a little research. It's in the Himalayas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so there's a few places you could harvest Shilajit. The most popular place to harvest it is the Himalayas. We actually get ours from the Altai region, which is a Russian mountain region that's like adjacent to the Himalayas. It's a little bit more on the north, a little bit more north. But yeah, the Altai Shilajit, I ran a lot of lab testing on all different supply chains for Shilajit, Nepal, India, Russia, and the Russian Shilajit always came up on top. In terms of fulvic acid potency and lack of contamination, which is like heavy metals, mycotoxins. You don't want to be taking any of that stuff.
I think we have enough of those.
Yeah.
We got enough of those.
But yeah, Shilajit is a super powerful substance. It's interesting. You said it took around like 2 to 3 months for you to get most of like the acute benefits of like feeling a difference in your libido, feeling a difference in your mood, sex drive and stuff. And the most commonly cited study actually on Shilajit is that 90 days of supplementation significantly increases testosterone by 20%.
Yeah, and that's literally what happened to me. Yeah, I'm sure like me overtraining and do all the shit that I do, that plays a big factor. So maybe it took a little bit longer, whatever. But yeah, like 2-3 months, that's when I started to really feel like just better overall in every aspect.
And beyond like hormonal benefits, it's like a powerful substance in and of itself. And mineral content, every single enzymatic reaction in your body relies on minerals. So if you're mineral deficient, your body isn't going to be undergoing those processes in the proper ways that it should be. So mineral content in Shilajit is super good. Fulvic acid actually helps the uptake of minerals and other nutrients from the food that you eat. So when you're taking that alongside a healthy, well-balanced diet, I don't know.
Not me.
Yeah, not exactly you.
Sorry, Eric. Nope.
It does still help.
This is what you're getting from me.
It does still help the uptake of nutrients from your burgers and your cookies.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Those burgers are hitting the bloodstream quicker.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I worked out later in the afternoon yesterday. I had 2 cheeseburgers, and I felt fucking great. My strength output was great.
Yeah. I mean, cheeseburgers inherently aren't terrible.
Nah.
Like, I think cheeseburgers could be argued as a pretty healthy alternative to a lot of other shit that people are eating.
I just love food.
Yeah.
Food is my comfort.
Cheeseburgers and Chips Ahoy.
Facts. But this shit helps, man. It helps. It really does. And I'm very adamant about it. I'm very passionate about it. I tell everybody about it. So it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And he taught me a lot of stuff about just like overall supplements in general. And it's really good.
I know you said mineral deficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, I mean, I don't know the percentage, but I know that most of the U.S. population specifically is mineral deficient in just the regular minerals, D, K, all the regular ones.
Well, yeah, vitamins and like minerals, magnesium, potassium.
I guess you would consider the minerals what, the micronutrients?
Both of them are considered micronutrients.
They're both
so like
considered.
vitamins are different, minerals are their own thing. Yeah.
And so what do you find that people are most deficient in, and would taking something like this create imbalances or just keep it totally
No,
level?
minerals are synergistic, but you're not going to create any crazy imbalances unless you're introducing like a crazy level of, say, like zinc into your system or like copper into your system. One of the most common mineral deficiencies in the US population is magnesium. You know that like I think it's like 70-80% plus of people are deficient in magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that is used in like 300, 400, 500. Like the number keeps increasing. The amount of enzymatic reactions that require magnesium is so high. And if you're magnesium deficient, it's going to affect your energy levels during the day. It's going to affect your sleep. It's just going to
sleep.
Yeah.
Use it right
Magnesium
before bed.
is one of the most common ingredients in any sleep supplement you take. Those sleep patterns, it's always like magnesium. Sometimes they'll have like melatonin. Yeah.
I know
like magnesium is
Huberman's
super-
very against melatonin. We've been fed that since we were, this is the go-to sleeping aid is melatonin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know his stack is magnesium, it's apigenin, it is L-theanine, and GABA sometimes. I think I was taking too much GABA for a while though, because I started to just get that plateau feeling of just numbness.
Yeah.
Not physically numb, but just like that mental, there's really nothing going down type of scenario.
Well, GABA is also interesting too, because if you're inserting too much GABA, exogenous like sources of GABA into your brain, GABA actually is always balanced out by glutamate, and glutamate is the excitatory neurotransmitter, while GABA is the inhibitory one. And if you're always in a state where you have a lot of GABA in your system, it's always going to be pushed to the other polarity with glutamate. So sometimes you'll get that like bounce back anxiety that people talk about when they have like too much GABA in their system, because glutamate is pumping right after the GABA to balance it out.
I'm just trying to like be balanced and have fun. That's all I'm trying to do. So tired of just like I start taking some shit and it starts fucking me up in other areas. It's tough, man.
There's a lot of shit out there. There's a lot of people pushing shit, creating supplements. Everywhere you go or everywhere you see, there's different supplements, different things, but most people don't really know what they are taking.
Yeah.
And that's actually an important point. Most people don't even know the sourcing of where their supplements come from. And a lot of supplement companies are shit. It's just a bunch of like kids in the drop shipping space trying to make money, running crazy viral TikTok videos, sourcing supplements from they don't even know where. They couldn't even like go back to their supply chains and see where this stuff was harvested, who was touching this stuff, how it was manufactured. It's like, it's very unsafe.
I'd argue to say that they don't care.
They don't care.
Give a fuck. They're looking for $1. That's really what they're looking for. How many dollars can I get before I exit? That's really what a lot of these people on, especially TikTok and all these different like little TikTok shop creators and all this stuff that you see. You see a bunch of bullshit products. You see a bunch of things that, like you're saying, you don't even know where it's sourced from. But once again, it's like to them, what's the cheapest manufacturing route that I can get this on? And, okay, well, they say it's third-party tested, but is it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you could make all these claims as a supplement company, third-party lab tested, like manufactured in the USA. You see all these like trust badges on people's sites, and then you look for certificate of analyses. They never have any. They never have any transparency of where their stuff is manufactured, sourced from. It's like they make all these claims, but they can't back any of them up.
Are they able to say that though because the FDA doesn't regulate it?
Yeah, I mean it's a very unregulated agency. It's not necessarily that they're allowed to say it or encouraged to say it, but there's just so many supplement companies out there. It's hard for the FDA to even zero in on a specific company and say like, hey, you can't say this, can't say this. There's so many companies, especially with like viral marketing popping off now. I'd argue that there's probably like 100, 200, 300 plus new companies every day.
Yep.
And the amount of FDA employees that would be required to regulate that amount of companies is just crazy. So like even making drug related claims based off of your like ingredients that are not supposed to be promoted as drugs, like that's something that is completely against FDA guidelines, but the FDA can't even necessarily regulate it because it's so tough. There's so many companies out there.
Yeah. So now, how did you get to Shilajit? Because truth be told, I never heard of this before.
Yeah.
And who else? Who else have I seen take this? I've seen somebody else.
I know Jared takes it too.
Oh, that's right, Jared, crazy trainer. Jared. Shouts to Jared.
Jared, you're a bitch.
So, hold on one second. Tom's about to.
Yeah,
take a
I was
look
about
at
to chatter him.
So talk me through this before you put this in your yapper.
So, usually when people do this, they
Make
put
sure the
it.
camera's focused. Keep going.
They put it in water, right? I never did that.
Yeah, it's popular to dissolve it in water. People enjoy the taste of it. They enjoy it as a tea. Sometimes they'll put honey in it. Sometimes they'll put sugar. But yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. When you dissolve it in water, it actually helps it absorb into your body quicker. But if you're in a rush or you're just crazy like Tom, you'll just eat it straight off the spoon.
It looks like venom. Looks like
It does look. It does. It looks like the
does,
the
yeah.
symbiote, right?
When I first saw it, I was like, is it gonna start moving towards me?
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
actually
Peter.
eats Tom.
So Peter, Icebox Kettlebell, shout out to Peter. He taught me how to do this in Florida, and I just eat it. Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so, what is the texture? Because it looks like gummy.
I mean,
It is the most sticky, annoying texture I've ever had to work with any of the products that we sell.
So what do? You bunch it up and then you just throw it right back. Pause.
yep.
Yep.
No diddy.
Usually I have water, but
did it.
usually
Put it in your mouth, swallow it, and shut up.
Tom was looking for the crystal, but they were all out.
usually I have water, but fuck it, I'm just gonna be a man and just swallow it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wash it down with that.
And again.
Nah, I'm good. It's okay. But no, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like this is like the most potent that you can probably get it into your system is the resin. You just eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up eat it.
Yeah.
And
More
I mean,
so
you
than the
could-
tablets.
You could dose it higher with the resin. Like you could just take fat ass clogs and throw it back. But the tablets are pre-dosed. They're a lot less messy. The reason why we have that product is because we want to create ease for the customer. It's a lot easier to just pop and go instead of
It's just one per day.
2 per day.
2 per day.
Yeah.
So do you take 2 together? You take 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Does it matter?
Yeah, you could take 2 in the morning. You could take 2 in the afternoon. You could take 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. You can't really take too much Shilajit.
Really?
There's no risk of overdosing on it, and that's been backed up by studies.
I take 5 a day.
I have
5
friends.
little spoons of that.
No, hell fucking no.
I have friends who eat the entire sheet in a day.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take 5 a
They
day.
feel-
Or
so now here's the question: do they feel an actual difference or benefit from it to eat that much?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an upper echelon limit to like how much you're gonna feel.
What they're
benefits
gonna,
of
It
it.
works, man.
they're gonna screw this whole thing up if they
Nick.
keep eating that much. It's not gonna be enough for everybody else.
Yeah.
It works, dude. I'm telling you. If you take especially if you train if you train all the time. My friend Edward Troyes, shout out to Edward too. I'm dropping all my
Yeah.
friends on here. Edward Troyes told me to take like 5 of them. He's like, yo, megadose that shit because all the training that you do, but also like we always talk about, like it's not that we're getting older, it's just that we have more more wear, like jobs, businesses, relationships, people, training. Like if you start taking that stuff like 4 to 5 a day, you'll notice a big difference in like 2 or 3 months. I've been telling you about this.
Very-
Yeah, no, you have.
Yeah,
Very
it'll
good
work,
for
dude.
recovery.
Very good.
There's studies showing that it helps upregulate collagen synthesis, which is like recovery for your muscles.
I was taking extra collagen when I hurt my ankle.
Yeah.
I was taking collagen powder, and I definitely felt like it helped with the recovery process. I felt like I was getting better when I was taking that more regularly, versus if I wasn't. So, and it was a pretty bad ankle injury. So I'm actually happy that it helped. But so like back to the original question, when you're researching things to create as a company, how did you form the idea that you wanted to do this? Was it just you wanted to help recovery? You wanted to just do something that helped with mineral deficiencies? What was it that sparked this? And how did you land on this? Because until you never heard of this before.
Yeah, so I'll bring you from the beginning to the present day of like the inception of the thought of the business to where we're at now. So in college, I was actually taking a bunch of different supplements by myself because as any like entry level quote unquote biohacker is going to like treat themselves as like, how do I increase my testosterone? If you're a guy, you're like, how do I max out my testosterone? So I was doing a lot of research. I ran into Shilajit, which is one of the supplements that I saw the most benefits with right at the gate. So I actually ended up being an affiliate for a different company. And I was putting a bunch of my friends on it, my college friends, my home friends. And at a certain point, I put like 50 plus people onto this supplement. I was like, damn, I'm pretty good at talking about the benefits. Maybe I should start a company after college. So I was doing a little like e-commerce dropshipping type stuff on the internet back when I was like a sophomore, junior. That was my first real taste of like internet money. So that really kind of pivoted my mindset to like, I have a good product here. I know I could probably create an e-com business in the future based off of that. So for 2 years before I even started the company, I knew that Shilajit was going to be my first product. Now we have other products. We have Pine Pollen. We're releasing Butea, Superba, Black Ginger. These are all supplements that I have taken myself, that me and my friends have taken. We've all personally seen really great benefits with. I take it. We'll talk about Pine Pollen in a second too. But yeah, I mean, Shilajit, I always knew it was going to be my first product. So right at the gate, I started my company. 2022. Yeah, August 2022 is when we launched. And originally, I was just going to run it as like a personal brand thing. I was going to talk about Shilajit on my Instagram story, talk about it on TikTok, whatever, turn it into like a small brand attached to my name. I ended up landing on Twitter. We were talking about X-Twitter before. A lot of my really good friends that I still hang out with to this day, I live with some of them now. I met and they helped me blow the company like off the ground.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I was introduced to the health Twitter ecosystem. Got a couple of guys to try the product. They started promoting it. I remember the first time I ever had an affiliate post pop off, I made like $3,000 in a day. I was like, holy shit, yeah, I got to double down on this. So I started creating affiliate systems on Twitter. We were able to scale the company from like 0 to 50, 100K with just affiliate on Twitter. So that's just kind of like organic type content.
So sick, dude.
And then we pivoted over to paid ads. So I learned Facebook ads. I knew a little bit of Facebook ads from like my previous e-commerce experience in college. Ran my own Facebook ads, eventually got to a point where we outsourced that. But yeah, the company was like doubling every month. It went from 100, 200 to 400 at Q4. I was like, holy fuck. This
it's almost like unreal. It's like,
it was unreal. It was hard for me to conceptualize too, because the company was growing so fast and it was just based off of products that I use and I love myself. And like, we have a lot of principles that we abide by: supply chain transparency, making sure that everyone knows that we're third-party lab tested, sharing our COAs, and actually building like a real company instead of just doing it for the quick cash.
And so now what becomes one of the main challenges? Is it keeping it in stock at that point when you're blowing up that quickly?
Yeah. So when we were blowing up that quickly, I ran into obvious scaling issues that you're going to have when you're doubling your revenue from like 200 to 400K. So we ran out of inventory a couple of times. It's always a headache because people are used to getting stuff within 2 to 3 days. Sometimes Amazon, your shit arrives in the same day. So people are very, very privileged with being able to get like their products very quickly. And if it takes you like a week or two to get someone their product, they get pretty annoyed. So it was really tough for us to run out of inventory that first time. My way to combat that was just to buy a fuck ton of inventory and just be like, we're never running out of stock again. So we literally, we have like $5 million worth of inventory just sitting in the warehouse at all times. I'm very adamant.
Can I buy the entire supply? What? Yeah, and the entire supply.
I got to order $10 million more.
We have to send people back up into the Himalayas to go harvest this shit. Do it now.
Yeah, but scaling issues were crazy. We're at a point now where we're just like taking bigger swings, big PR plays. The partnership with the Kill Cliff Gym, I was talking to you about that before. Not necessarily like first customer acquisition plays, but just increasing brand awareness for Based. And I want to grow like the company and the mission behind the company now.
And that's super important.
Yeah.
And it's, you got a good, listen, man, we've talked on Instagram and this and that. And I'm super excited that Tom had us come together and be able to do this today while you're in town. I just like hearing good people doing good things. Like,
he's smart, man. I learned a lot from him. He literally, like, if I didn't meet him, I don't know where I would have gotten my source of like clarity from, because
well, you'd be trying to take that shit then. You'd be trying to take that shit.
Yeah, you'd be on enclomiphene,
SARMs, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, you don't want to be on fucking SARMs. You don't want to be on SARMs. I've heard more horror stories than anything positive about people on SARMs.
Yeah, yeah, SARMs are horrible. Just, I mean, if you're gonna take
Do it. That's what my
PEDs,
guy-
just take steroids.
My doctor, the dude who, mad scientist, shout out James, the dude who prepped me for a show after my bodybuilding coach. My bodybuilding coach wanted me to take a ton of gear. Anybody that's listened to this, I sound like a broken record. He wanted me to take a ton of gear, and I just said, I'm staying natural. I don't want to take anything. So I finally landed on a functional medicine guy down in Florida who I'm still very good friends with, and he helped me go through an off season, on season. So one day my buddy's asking me, my buddy was dabbling with strongman, and he goes, yo, ask your guy what he thinks about SARMs. So I literally texted him. I go, what do you think about SARMs? My buddy Joe wants to know. Shouts to Joe. The response back was literally just, do the real thing. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah, I was about to say, he probably just called you a pussy right at the day. Be like, just
don't
do steroids,
do the real
bro.
thing. Don't be a pussy. I was like, yeah, okay. So yeah, I've heard nothing but horror stories about SARMs. You don't want to take that shit, though. You got to worry about regular steroids and the quality that they are, that you're not getting shit from China or like third party bullshit. You want to get clean stuff if you're going to take that. Now, what are they going to do with SARMs? If they can barely get clean regular shit, what are they going to do with that stuff?
And I think the most harmful thing is a lack of education on SARMs and steroids and how to safely do either of them, if you're going to do either of them.
What are the main
right?
ones?
Because when I was in high school, there were kids on my high school football team, like 16, 17-year-olds taking SARMs. These kids have no idea how this is going to affect their hormone levels if they're taking this shit for like 2, 3, 4, 5 months on end without even thinking about having to do like maybe a PCT after, or how it's going to affect their hormones in general, like when they get older. I have friends that took SARMs for months on end, had no idea that it was going to negatively affect their endogenous hormone production, and they were depressed for like a year, 2 years because
Depressed, their dick doesn't
Yeah.
work, everything is down through the floor.
all the
their
manifestations
hormones.
of low testosterone, just like looking like a soy boy, feeling like shit, being depressed, low libido, just everything that makes you a happy man just goes away when your testosterone is fucked.
Yeah. I thought for a little while that I had low T, but I was really just draining myself and going to the gym 6 days a week, jujitsu 6 to 7 times a week on top of it. Like I was beating the shit out of myself. And-
Sleep is so important.
Oh, I wasn't sleeping. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was sleeping a couple hours a day. The dog was keeping me up. He's up super early, butt crack of dawn. I mean, the second I take an exhale that isn't me just sleeping, he's up and he's just like, oh, so we're doing this, right? The day started. I'm like, fuck. All right, dude. So like that plus all of the overtraining. I know some people, they don't like to hear overtraining. You actually can do it. It's a real thing.
You can do it.
I promise.
Shit, if
It
I'm
was
saying
just-
it, you could do it.
Dude, it was just, it put me into the ground. And
Yeah.
I thought I had low T. I thought I get my levels checked. I was at almost 800. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, that's not bad. That's,
just tired.
That's solid.
For
Yeah,
33, not bad.
yeah, that's
Not bad.
pretty good. Yeah.
But it's cool because stuff like this shows that you can get stronger and increase your overall performance. Because I know you've been working with guys like Gilbert Burns and a lot of MMA guys down in Florida. Like not just like with weightlifting, but also your endurance levels when you're doing cardio, if you're doing jiu-jitsu, or if you're doing MMA. Like it is possible to use natural herbs to get to certain levels, whether you're younger, you're older. Like as teenagers, they're very impressionable. Like kids like that, they're very impressionable. So they see anything they see on Instagram or, you know, their buddies are taking it, they'll try like, oh, if he's doing this, then, oh, I got to do that. But like there are different alternatives to where it's healthy and you could increase your overall sports performance, strength, cardio, and everything with the natural stuff, which is what a lot of people need to do.
We've always been impressionable. I mean, I know this is way before your time, but like back when I was in high school, dude, I was looking at the Muscle Tech ads. I was looking at all that shit, like all the different ads that they were putting out back then. And they oh yeah, buy this protein and you're going to look like the dude in the ad. And, you know, this is way before we actually did a lot of research and before the information was so wide and public where you couldn't have sit down forums like this. Everything was almost scripted and big ad, big media type stuff.
Yeah.
So you didn't know, you thought that you were believing the right stuff. You didn't realize that, oh, that stuff is shit. Like, and the dude that did the photo shoot, he did the photo shoot the same day. He looked like shit. He put his gut out. He slunched over. And the next one, they gave him a tan. They shaved him and they made him look all jacked up and glossy. And you go, oh, I want to look like that. It's like, oh, all I gotta do is take that protein. All I gotta do is take that pre-workout. It's like, nah, man. So now you go nowadays where you have Hubermans, you have all these people speaking out, even yourself.
Actual education, yeah.
Actual education
super
and
important.
science-backed studies that you show. Here's the third-party testing. Here is what we're doing. Here's this and that. And people are actually able to sort through, read, and make decisions on themselves and learn that just like hundreds of years ago, the natural route is applicable even today. It doesn't need to be made in a fucking factory farm, you know what I'm saying? Like a laboratory. You can get everything from nature just in a more convenient ability to you know, take it, unless you're doing the resin, I guess, because that's nature, right? The tablet I'm speaking about. But you can do all this and get the benefits of hundreds and thousands of years of just that.
Yeah. I was gonna say
That makes sense.
Yeah, back to like the big marketing thing where you're looking at like the muscle tech ads and shit. If there's a profit incentive for a company to make a lot of money from a big audience that wants, say, something like SARMs or like some stuff that is like inherently harmful for young people to be taking without proper education, it's like, yeah, like they're gonna take advantage of those audiences. And
I mean,
it could really hurt people. Like companies do bad things, people do bad things. I remember
time.
Yeah, I remember in high school, all the kids were buying SARMs from this one. I'm not going to name the shop. It was like a shop in West Islip. But they were buying SARMs from the shop in West Islip. The guys were selling it under the counter because there was a profit incentive. These guys at this supplement store were directly profiting off of selling SARMs to 16, 17 year olds and saying like, this will help you get bigger. This will make you a better football player. Yeah. Like they're lying to these kids' faces, like literally harming these kids' lives. Like it's so bad.
Their hormones aren't even settled yet. They're still in puberty at that point. I mean, what is it? 25, the male brain actually finally finishes developing. 25 years old.
25.
You're 16, 17 years old taking
my brain is still developing. I'm 24.
I don't know what it's going to be like when you're fully done, man. It's going to be like Megamind over here.
Yeah, when Eric's like 30 years old. Jesus Christ.
It's going to be Megamind. It wasn't the Shilajit. His brain just finally finished developing. It's crazy.
Science.
Yeah, science and just everything. But it's a troubling topic because I'm not against steroids. I think everybody should.
Me either.
I think everybody should do what they need to do. At some point, when I'm 40, 50 years old, I'll probably jump on TRT if I need it. That's the important part.
100% agree.
Too many people are so quick to just, fuck it, my low T, I'm 30, it's over. I got to go jump on this.
Well, people always want the path of least resistance, right? If you could give someone a magic pill that will solve all their problems, say your problem is low T, I'm the company with the profit incentive. Here's my magic pill. It's going to solve all your testosterone problems. But people have to focus on the stuff that precedes taking, say, supplements, even my supplements. Like, I encourage people to have a healthy lifestyle that's pro-testosterone before you're taking supplements to increase your testosterone.
Get good sleep, train hard,
good sleep,
train heavy.
Balance your circadian rhythm, eat well, drink water, get sunlight. Like, all the baseline things that you should be focusing on before you start taking supplements to help increase your testosterone. That's important.
We go back to the people not wanting to wait for the shipping, right? They don't want to wait for the shipping. People want the answers now.
They want it quick and they want it now.
I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it because we're in a society of just instant gratification from the internet, you know? So when you start actually having to step back, the best way to do things is process of elimination. What is helping you and what isn't helping you? You know, I gave up alcohol last year. Like I just decided I just didn't want to drink anymore. Like it wasn't benefiting me anymore. And I just said, you know what? I'm good. Let me see how long I can do this. And then as the streak builds, you go, oh wow, I feel better clarity wise. Like I'm waking up the next morning, not fuzzy. You know, whereas Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not that I was a booze hound, but I'd have like 2 drinks, play Xbox, hang out at the house, go out maybe in town and eat and drink a little bit. But it fucks you up, man. Over a long duration of time, it slows you down mentally, especially. Yeah. So all these studies come out and you start going, oh shit, well, that's not good for me. Let me take that out. Let's see how I feel. And it takes a little while. You got to give yourself the proper time to reload and have your body recreate homeostasis because it's been used to you putting this substance in your system constantly. You know, we don't think that we're doing it often, but I mean, if you have 5 drinks every single weekend, you know what I'm saying? 20 drinks a month, that's going to fuck you up in over a year span, not necessarily in a month span. So take that out. Get the sleep, start eating better, start working out, trying different workout techniques as opposed to just going and doing bodybuilding shit all day. You know, train more functionally. Your testosterone's going to go up. But then if you still feel like you need these aids, like you said, then start to...
This is the cherry on top.
Yeah.
You gotta build the foundation and then you can have the cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Train more primitive.
Yeah.
Primitive.
Once again, man, it goes back to it goes back to like
does.
hundreds of thousands of
But it
years.
does,
What has
yeah.
worked and stood the test of time?
The Earth.
That's what it comes down to.
The Earth has everything possibly that we could possibly need for any illness, any problem, anything in the form of plants. I'm not like holistic. I'm not like, oh, like one with fucking nature. I'm in the fucking forest with my fucking feet in the dirt. But
You should do that, by the way.
that,
you're all grounded.
that's
all
grounding.
grounded.
But that's grounding. Like when you even like if you go on the beach, like if you put your water, like your feet in the water in the sand, like you feel like, oh, like it's like you
feel different, man.
You feel different. You do. But like this shit is from the earth. It's from the ground. It's from. It has everything that we need to solve any illness or any problem, and it helps me.
Yeah.
It's helped me tremendously.
So you gave me the background, you gave me all of that. So now you have other products, because I don't want to just talk about Shilajit, like you said.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the other stuff as well. So you have great success with Shilajit. It's you're getting it in people's hands. They're feeling the difference. They're feeling great.
Mm-hmm.
Now you decide to do experimentation and research on other products that are going to help benefit people as well.
Yeah.
How did you land on pine pollen? I've never heard of it prior to reading it on the site, actually.
Yeah, so I told you the first product that I always knew was going to be the first product of my first business was Shilajit. I always knew the second one was going to be pine pollen. I was taking them both together. I was like, these two synergistically are like, there's nothing better. I haven't felt anything better for my testosterone than Shilajit and pine pollen. So found a good source of pine pollen. I actually went up to Canada a couple months ago and did the harvest myself with the team up there. So you're actually sitting there picking the trees, picking the catkins off the trees, sifting them, harvesting the pine pollen. It was a really cool experience. But yeah, pine pollen is actually a natural source of phytoandrogens. So pollen is the sexual medium of pine trees. The male pine tree releases the pollen to pollinate the female trees to create new life. With that being like the sexual medium of male pine trees, it has bioavailable phytoandrogens, testosterone, like bioidentical testosterone to human testosterone, and like other factors as well. But we were able to put it into a tincture. It absorbs directly into your bloodstream. So you hold it under your tongue for 60 seconds. Tom, how often do you do it?
I take it every day.
That's a jar a day on his tongue.
Imagine.
One shot of pine pollen a day. Like 2 gallons. Pre and post workout.
Yeah.
It tastes like tequila.
Does it really?
It is alcohol. It's straight grain alcohol.
Yeah, it tastes like tequila. Yeah. So I put it under my tongue. I think I do 5 milliliters. I think that's what I do, and I just leave it under my tongue for I do like 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I leave it under there, and I just swallow it.
Yeah. So the traditional powder pine pollen, it does contain those hormones, those bioavailable hormones, but your stomach acid tends to destroy a lot of those hormones, denature a lot of them. So the tincture actually delivers it straight to your bloodstream. And I mean, for me, at least, it is one of the most acutely feeling supplements that I've ever taken. Like you take the pine pollen, you're like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
I feel that.
Yep.
Great for energy levels, great for testosterone production. And yeah, it's one of my favorite supplements.
How did you find that before? Like first, I mean, Shilajit, it's to me, it was random because I never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Like, how did you find pine pollen? Did you just...
To be honest, like 19-year-old me just scrolling Reddit, experimenting with literally everything, pine pollen, Shilajit, ashwagandha, Tongkat, like all those herbal test boosters. I've tried all of them. And it's just personal research, YouTube videos. And there's not really like a crazy story behind it, but
that's
it's just
okay.
research, yeah.
Yeah, because I find so much random shit sometimes, and it's hard to decipher what actually works until you try it.
Yeah.
I take Tongkat too.
I started taking Tongkat. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, Tongkat is very well studied. It's a very effective testosterone booster. And yeah, I enjoy taking Tongkat sometimes too. It does make me aggressively horny though.
Tongkat, really?
Yeah.
I haven't had that. But I'm also not fucking, so. If I was fucking, maybe if I was doing it more often, I'd be like, oh, I gotta get more.
Yeah.
But when you're just without it for so long, you're kind of just like, I'm
like,
chill right now.
I forgot what it feels like.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this spooning that you talk about? I don't remember what it feels like.
Nah, Tongkat is crazy. If you take like a super concentrated extract of Tongkat, like a 50 to 1 or like 100 to 1, you take that and like it'll drive me to like horny insanity. I'm like,
All right, so everybody, if you have that dosage, please keep it away from Erik. We can't have him running around super horny like that.
Is it true that it makes your hair fall out? Yeah, that's why I'm bald.
I mean, we could say like we could say there's a correlation there, but correlation doesn't equal causation. People make like the DHT argument all the time, where it's like elevated levels of DHT
Was it
leads
DHT?
DHT dihydrotestosterone. It's a there's like testosterone and there's DHT. Actually, I'll talk about one of the new products that we're releasing, Butea Superba. So me and my buddy were actually reading a study one time on Butea Superba. There was a Thai guy that was taking it for hair growth. So Butea Superba is good for hair growth. A Thai guy was taking it, and he actually had to go to the hospital a few days later because he was too horny. So he brought himself, listen, he brought himself to the hospital because he was so aggressively horny.
He said that so seriously too. He's like trying to talk about
I didn't know where
it.
this was going. I was like, why did he go to the hospital? He was
You have a heart attack?
Fucking horny.
This ties into the whole like testosterone, DHT, and hair loss argument. So Butea Superba, people take it for hair growth. The guy was so horned out of his mind that he had to go to the hospital, and he got his blood levels checked, and his DHT was like triple to 5 times the normal range for what your DHT should be at. So he was taking Butea Superba for hair growth, and it also spiked his DHT. So he had high DHT and his hair was growing. So he had his cake and he ate it too.
So that I guess that would be the adverse of what a Tongkat would be.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the increase in horniness
Well, I'm just making the argument that
and testosterone, but you're also going to get you don't have to worry about the hair loss then.
How the fuck do you treat that if you're in the hospital? Like, yeah, my dick is too hard.
I mean,
Send in the nurses.
Send in the nurses. Sexy nurses.
Send in the
Like how do
doctors.
like you go into a hospital and you say that, like, what the fuck are their reactions? Like, all right, go home or watch.
They-
some
Sure,
shit.
have you ever beat off before?
they basically just told him
Submission, sir.
they basically just told him to stop taking Butea Superba, but that anecdotal case showed that you could have elevated levels of DHT and still maintain your hair growth. So you could have DHT is a 5 times more potent molecule, 5 times the binding affinity to androgen receptors as testosterone. So DHT makes you feel like more of a man than testosterone does. So this guy had elevated levels of DHT, had all the positive benefits of having high DHT and testosterone, and he was having better hair growth because
But you're also saying if too high DHT in some cases can cause low.
it is
hair loss?
it's a factor, but it's not the cause.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit more nuance to it
It also
than
deals
just like
with your bio and your family history, I'm sure, as well. It has
yeah. There's a multitude of factors, like definitely your overall health as well. But yeah, DHT is correlated to hair loss, but it's not necessarily the cause because as you see with supplements like Butea Superba, you could increase your hair growth and also increase your DHT. So now that we have Butea Superba, all we have to do is find a time machine so we could go back and give Tom some 5 years ago. So we could
Or start giving it to him now.
be a
My
good man
hairline
and,
doesn't go back.
Just give it to him now. It starts sprouting.
When did you
no one's
lose
gonna have
your
to go
hair?
to Turkey anymore.
I've so I've always had a hairline, like the Vegeta hairline. It's just how it was. I think it started happening when I was 18, and it was actually a big insecurity of mine for a good enough time. But then, like as I'm fucking getting older, it just starts going back and back and back. Until one day I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I actually shaved my head in December, and I actually like it how it looks now. And everybody,
I think it
else
looks good.
I think it looks
everybody-
great. I think
Thank
it
you.
looks great.
Everybody's been Jesus Christ,
Cunt?
complimenting me about it.
Don't yell at Eric. He'll get you more, okay? Relax. It's just not going to be 3 days.
Complimenting me about it. But it's not a big deal. But I mean, if that's the truth, then maybe I'll switch from Tongkat to what's it called? Supeba?
Butea Superba.
Butea Superba.
What is
Maybe
it?
I'll switch to that.
It's a flowering plant native to Thailand, so it's harvested from the roots. We're actually going to Thailand September, October for supply chain stuff there to take content, whatever, and explore the supply chain. But yeah, Butea Superba and black ginger, both of those actually are also natural PDE5 inhibitors, which is the enzyme that's responsible for breaking down the molecule that leads to increased blood flow in your penis. So there's studies that equate black ginger as a
Just creating an entire country of bricked up soldiers.
literally better men.
Yes, better
That's what
men.
we need.
Yeah.
My hard dicks walking around.
But black ginger, there's studies comparing black ginger to Viagra, saying it's a viable alternative to Viagra. Some studies actually showing that black ginger is more effective than Viagra. So naturally giving you better effects for increased blood flow to your genitals for whatever purpose you need that for.
You got to make a stack on the website and call it the cat scratching post.
The cat scratching post.
Yeah.
The horny insanity stack.
Yo, just so this way, like everyone just knows you're gonna be bricked up and that shit gonna be solid.
Yeah.
Black ginger, yeah, right here.
Yeah, black ginger and Butea Superba. So we're gonna start with Butea Superba.
How do they create black ginger? Is it just like an aging process, or
No, I think it's its own species.
its own species?
Yeah, it's related to regular ginger, but it's its own.
because I had my
species of
buddy
ginger.
Dave come in and he has a whole
Load boost.
The load boost. Tom's like, oh, that's stupid. Wait, what's my shipping address?
He's like, oh, it's such a dumb name.
Load boost. That's
Yeah.
so stupid.
What a stupid supplement credit card.
Hold on, guys. I need to put the last 4 in.
It's terrible.
3 to 5 days. Fuck. That's okay. We can wait.
But hey, listen, for the guys listening, shit, this is like pure knowledge for them to increase everything, their vitality, their hormones, their strength, everything.
First and foremost, get a panel done. Let's just say that. First off, if you're a male and you're mid to late 20s,
Blood work.
30s especially, and you've never gotten an actual blood panel done, you're behind the ball.
Yeah.
You need to know where you are,
Yeah.
because that's your baseline for that at that current point. And now you have to start looking at things that are going to maximize those levels. Not necessarily blow them through the roof, but get you to a better standing point of health. Because you could be doing as much as you can possibly do in the gym and your diet and all this stuff. And if you're still off in certain areas, it's going to fuck your levels up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where people aren't knowledgeable about most things, because people think, oh yeah, you just gotta go in the gym, lift weights, do cardio. It's like, no, as you get older and as certain things start to happen to your life, you gotta do a lot more than just lift weights and do fucking cardio.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that lifestyle is more important than exercise. Like lifestyle and just like your diet, your habits, like those are just as important as going to the gym and working hard.
If not more important, yeah.
Yeah, like people could eat like absolute shit and be on the treadmill for be on the treadmill thinking that the treadmill, like burning calories on the treadmill is going to help them lose weight. Meanwhile, like the root cause is them having a poor lifestyle. Yeah. Like you have to dial in the lifestyle. It's just as important as exercise.
Yeah.
But that's also like the principle of like choosing your vices too, because I know there's people like Tom that work out extremely hard, but like a good man will always have his vices, like eating like shit.
Yep.
Some guys are like extremely smart. They love drinking alcohol.
Yep.
But I mean, choosing your vices, not being an alcoholic, guys who smoke cigarette and eats like shit and doesn't exercise, you got to choose your vices.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, if I go to Whole Foods, which I did before, and I was a good boy, man, I didn't get what I normally get. But if I go to Whole Foods, man, and the Van Leeuwen's ice cream is looking at me, and I know it's not making it past the night. If that winds up in my cart, it's over. I'm taking a couple bites right when I get it home. That's at least 400 calories. You take 3 bites, you're just like, fuck it, I might as well eat the whole thing now.
Yeah, nobody's like 100% all the time, like strict with their diet.
There are, but they crash and they burn.
Yeah.
And they just they don't continue.
Yeah, it's neurotic. And if you're neurotic about everything, you will burn out because life isn't enjoyable anymore.
That's how I was when I started this little health journey, because I've been all over the place. I've been up, down, bodybuilding, not functional training. Then I was with you. Then I was at OG and this and that. And I was on my personal development and bettering myself journey. And it has, a lot of the habits have stuck with me. But dude, waking up every day at 4:45 a.m., journaling, like drinking the amount of water that I need to drink right when I get to the table, all this stuff, it was good in the beginning, but it's not sustainable in a lot of things. You almost put too much pressure on yourself. Oh, you didn't fucking journal? Oh, it's over, dude. It's like, you got to be able to like have a little bit of freeness when you're doing these different things, and just understand that, you know, there are good days, there are bad days and all this stuff. But when you're so neurotic about what you have to get done, it ruins the journey. It ruins what you're trying to do. It becomes a chore instead of something that's actually fun to do and get yourself better.
Yeah, that's the curse of being neurotic. Like you mess up one little thing and you're like, my day is over. You miss journaling in the morning. You're like, fuck. Like journaling is what makes me a better man for some reason, and then it ruins the rest of your day. It's like, no,
you miss it the next day.
If you miss journaling, you could make the rest of your day completely fine.
Yeah, or
journaling,
just fucking journal later.
Yeah, exactly. Just time manage. You didn't do it.
Journal later, bro.
Yeah, you didn't do it at 4 in the morning. Just do it fucking later.
I watch, and I want you to say what you're gonna say. I watch a lot of these productivity, these YouTubers and shit like that. You're just constantly getting berated about how you aren't doing good enough and you have to do better and all this different stuff, and that becomes exhausting to watch too. But like one of the guys, he was talking about time blocking your entire day. And I looked at it. I was like, all right, well, I want to do that. And I want to get more serious about my schedule and my calendar and making sure that everything's blocked off, like deep work or podcasts or this and that. But then, what if deep work gets shut off by an hour and your day isn't lining up now and you had to transition and a meeting popped up or this and that? Then you just start racking your own brain and it becomes now something that gets in the way of you doing what you have to do, as opposed to something that's supposed to make your life more rigid and stability wise.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think that there's a one size fits all approach. You listen to these YouTubers saying like, you must time block, you must wake up at 5 a.m., you must go to bed by 9 p.m. It's like, some people are better at working through the night. Some people are early birds. Some people have ADHD, and the way that they approach their work is going to be different than someone who's very more linear minded, right? So understanding yourself is more important than going on YouTube and listening to all the mental masturbation fucking productivity YouTube influencers. Like, think for yourself, understand how you operate and how you could best design your life to cater to your specific strengths. And also to avoid like the pitfalls of your weaknesses. So understanding yourself is more important than just like digesting YouTube videos and thinking that there's a one size fits all approach. Like I'll find the answer someday. Like, no, the answer is you understanding yourself more.
You know how many fucking videos I went through for notes apps?
Yeah.
What's going to be the best note app? I want to, dude, it sounds crazy, but it's nuts. And you start watching, it's just like, all right, well, this note app is good, or, oh, maybe I should do this one, or maybe I should do this one. By the time you watch all of them, you're just like, oh, fuck it, I don't even want to try any of these. Or you try too many. I don't know, bro, just use the notes app that's built into your phone, asshole.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
I had one friend, he was all about waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and running. Like, he always had to wake up at 4 o'clock, ran however many miles. So back then I was bartending and I always used to train at 12. This is during COVID. So I was like, yo, we're all going to work out at 12. People just liked when I ran the workout at a certain time. He's like, why do I have to work out when you work out? And I'm like, dude, I'm the one with the fucking equipment and the timing and leading with people. So it's like, what the fuck? So he wanted me to wake up at 4 in the morning and go run with him. When I was bartending at the time, or I was like in a different schedule of life because, I was working nights and I functioned better at night. So my bedtime was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So he said to me, he's like, all right, I will train with you at 12 if you come run with me at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, why the fuck am I going to wake up?
Sounds like hell for you.
Why the fuck? It's terrible. Why am I going to wake up
Got off at 2:30, bro.
to go run after my shift to go back and train at 12 when I could sleep my regular 8 fucking hours and train with everybody at 12? Why the fuck can't we do that? But his mindset was, I have to do this or I'm not going to be where I need to be. It's like, dude, go run at another fucking time during the day. Pooch does it. Yep. Pooch will train in the morning. He'll go run, or he'll run and then he'll train at night. Like, it doesn't have to be a specific time slot or else you're going to be fucked and you're not going to do what you want. It's like he said, everybody works at their own different time frames in life or their own schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I messaged him back and been like, it's crazy. I don't need you to come to the gym, so it's okay. I can train by myself.
Yeah.
I can train with other people. You don't have to show up.
Yeah.
You can show up when you want to show up.
Yep.
And if you don't, then don't show up.
Yep.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to, what times did I used to train? I used to train super late or like midday. And it's so funny how just your schedule just adapts and changes to what season of life you're in.
I love early morning.
I like early morning
Love
too.
early morning.
I think that's an older Nick thing now though. I used to not want to work out super, super early.
I'm not a fan of the early mornings at my current season of life.
That's because you're young.
Yeah.
And
it makes
once
sense.
those old man juices start flowing in your brain, all of a sudden it's just like, why not work out at 5 in the morning? You're like, okay, let's go.
I didn't start doing that shit until when I opened up my gym. Well, actually, no, it was before. When I was at the other gym, I worked out at 6, sometimes 6. I would train with you sometimes at 7. But yeah, as I got older, yeah, I like the early mornings better. I just like getting it over with. I like training fasted too. I feel like if I eat,
I do not like eating and training.
I get too lethargic. I feel like if I don't eat, if I don't time it out the right sense, I feel stronger because I actually worked out yesterday at 3:30 instead of 7, and I felt stronger, but I felt like lethargic.
Who's gonna tell Tom that he's lethargic because he ate 4 cheeseburgers?
Yeah.
Who's gonna tell him that?
Wait,
You ain't
maybe it has to
You
do with
ain't
the cheeseburgers.
You ain't wrong.
Nah,
ain't
I don't believe that, but I actually like training in the afternoon, and I think I'm different in the sense that I could eat a full ass meal and I could just hit a workout straight after.
No, some people
Feel perfect.
Matt Curta, love you, baby, but he will eat a full 2 slices of pizza right in the gym.
That's me. That's
walking
me.
in, walking in, just like slamming it down. All right, I'm ready to go. I would puke. I would yak.
Dude, I used to try to do an hour to an hour and a half before I trained. Like that would be the minimum amount of time that I would give my body to digest and just feel a little bit. That would still be just too much, like just a touch too close. That's why jiu-jitsu, when I do the 9 a.m.s at Sarah's on Saturdays, or even the 10 a.m. when I do the competition class on Sundays, bro, I'm not eating. I'm not eating until after.
You just had eggs and somebody's got you on your belly.
Bro.
It's funny because like me and my roommate Noah will eat lunch together at like 1, 2 o'clock. Right after, I'll be like, "Hey, you want a box?" And he's like,
No.
Fuck that. We just ate. Like I could eat like 2,000 calories and be like, all right, let's box.
No. Yeah, get hit with one shot in the stomach and the porterhouse comes right back up. Still intact. It reconnected in your stomach. So I know you were telling me that you're going to spend some time out in Vegas now.
Yeah. My friend Vance, he actually, shout out Vance, he owns Meraki Medicinal, which is the Methylene Blue company. You might have heard of it before.
Oh, I've heard of Methylene Blue. I've never taken it though.
Yeah, Methylene Blue is the closest thing to closest thing to a miracle compound that exists.
Really?
He posts so many studies about it on his Twitter. You should follow him on Twitter. I actually was at a random coffee shop in Babylon yesterday, and I saw stickers on a laptop. I was like, those look very similar to Vance's stickers. I looked closely. I was like, those are Vance's stickers. So it's crazy to see like how big the company has gotten. What's for Vance. Vance E or Vance FC maybe on Twitter. But yeah, Methylene Blue is crazy. The story behind how Vance founded that company too is even crazier. He had a pretty severe concussive injury from one of his MMA fights. And he was trying to go through all these different protocols. And one of the biggest things that helped him out was Methylene Blue. Methylene Blue literally saved his life, and it's literally a hero story. And that's why I love that company so much. I've heard
mixed things about it. There are always going to be people that bitch about everything.
Yeah.
They always have adverse type of, reactions to whatnot. But you hear mixed things about Methylene Blue. I don't know enough about it or what it's specifically supposed to do. I know it helps with cognition.
100%.
What else does it help with? And what is it? I know it's either a tablet or drops.
Yeah. So Methylene Blue is actually a synthetic compound, which is interesting because it is talked a lot about within spheres of holistic health people. A lot of people that take my products, the Shilajit, the Pine Pollen, they also take Methylene Blue. Methylene Blue is potent antioxidant. It helps with brain damage. It's a mild MAOI inhibitor. So MAOI inhibition is like the monoamines, which is like dopamine, serotonin, all those brain chemicals. It actually helps to stop the degradation of those and keep more in like the synapses. So you get more benefits of.
I was just about to ask, did it help him with like his cognitive function of an injury, or like was it like a skull injury or like something like
repair, like helping his brain repair?
Oh, okay.
So, I mean,
that shit's scary, bro.
It is scary.
On a side note, I don't want you to continue, but that shit is scary when you think about concussion, CTE, all these different things.
That's why
you start looking. I know, man.
That's why I don't fight anymore.
Well, yeah, I don't. That's why I do jujitsu, and that's risky enough for me when you get a leg that just randomly comes over and hits you cracks you in the back of the head. But it's so nerve-wracking because you look at, obviously I'm not on that level, but you look at interviews with fighters or martial artists, boxers. You look at the interview from when they first started to then towards the end of their career, and they're like slurring, they're not even speaking coherently, and you just then you really grasp how fucking damaging it is to take repeated blows to the head.
Yeah, and it only catches up to you later in life. So it's like you get all these concussions and you don't necessarily feel the like immediate impacts of it, but then later down the road it's just like these guys are so slow and
literally life on you're putting your life on the line, literally. It's just the repeated damage. So to have actual substances and different things that can help repair and keep it.
Yeah, mitigate that damage.
Yeah, mitigate it to some extent, because I'm sure at some point you hit a point where you can't bring back what was, but you can at least hold on to what is.
Yeah.
So you said he was using it for all the health functions for cognition and all that?
Yeah, to help his brain injury. And also it's like there's a ton of benefits from Methylene Blue. It's like potent antiviral, potent antifungal. So like I've gotten a couple staph infections. You put Methylene Blue right on it.
Ringworm, fun time.
Yeah. It literally deletes staph infections. So I put it on my staph and the staph is gone in like a week.
Is it Meraki? What's his thing?
Meraki, yeah.
I got him on X. Shouts to Elon. Elon, you want to come hang out with us? Come hang out with us, bro. You're never going to see this. Maybe.
Morocco.
Yeah, if you guys want to learn more about health, just being introduced to that health Twitter ecosystem.
I want to, because I got a lot
I
of...
text your ass. Like, hey, I text him. I'm like, hey, Eric, should I take this?
I just
Yes.
followed you on X. So
Hey, Eric, should I take this? Yes.
I got to tap into who he's following, and then I'll figure it all out.
I just text
Yeah.
Eric. I ask him questions. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? Should I take this?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It's like, Tom, stop eating cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
Cheeseburgers are great. There's
It's
nothing
simple,
bad about
dude. It's
cheeseburgers.
simple. You put a little bacon, some onions, some hot sauce. It's bread.
I love a burger.
It's bread. It's proteins. The meat. It's a little bit of onions, more bacon, more protein. Fuck it.
Shouts to Cello for helping this animal stay fueled.
I make them at home now. I love cello. I love them, but you know, it should be.
What is cello? Is that a
Marcello?
No Good
guy
Burger.
owns- yeah,
No Good Burger joint next door to Tom's Gym.
Oh, okay.
I used to eat there all the time, but that shit.
I know they used to just walk it over to you.
That shit was
Yeah,
adding up,
I
like,
used to
price-wise.
see you have like the plate from. The
It was great.
diner
It was
there.
It's
great.
expensive, man.
Yeah.
Everything's expensive right now.
I go to Stop and Shop. I get a 6-pack for like $15.
2 bags of groceries today. Barely got anything. $106. I looked at her. I was just like, "Do you want like my firstborn as well?" When it eventually comes,
Like, take the clothes off my.
Yeah, I
back,
just want to
too.
know.
It's a lot, man.
Take it.
Yeah.
Take it. What did I'm not doing. Just
like,
fucking take it.
Here's the keys to my car.
But I like.
You know what? You take the groceries too.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll just give you everything.
Yeah, this is the address to my house. Here's the front door key.
Kenji's waiting for you.
And for me, it's been working. Sometimes I do a little baked potatoes with it or some chips. If I'm lazy, I just don't feel like cooking or baking anything. It's easy. Works for me. Shit.
Shouts to Force of Nature, company that I really like for
Force
the
of
meat.
nature.
Pause. No Diddy.
Yeah.
Big Diddy.
Big Diddy. You like it for the meat. Pause. So
Force of nature.
Force of Nature. So
I'm
I
learning
get
so much today.
Well, you can get it from Whole Foods. It's a little bit more expensive. They do deals on their website, but they're regenerative farms. Like
Yeah.
they do all their own ranching. Everything. And I'll send you a link. I think we save money if I send you a link from my account. But anyway, so basically they have all of the meat, like bison, they have beef, they have venison, they have all that. But then they have
I've seen that company
They have the
before, yeah.
ancestral blend that has the liver and heart in the ground beef. So you're getting the benefits of the organ meats without actually having you don't really taste it.
Yeah.
It's like 10% in the ground already.
I've been on the organ meat train before, and some of that shit is gross.
Oh yeah, I'm not eating it
Yeah.
separately. I'm not doing it.
Did the Liver King rub off on you?
No,
Liver
fuck no.
King. The Liver King
His
trend.
high blood pressure. He's always beat red. No,
Yeah.
I'm not, dude.
It was on
There's
all
no
the
way that
drugs.
guy's on steroids. Like,
No, never
He
took
was on
anything
all
in
the
his life.
drugs in the world, and like his abs are like fucking just like blocks.
Yeah.
he was spending 6 times the average American salary on steroids.
It was
wild.
Yeah.
the list was huge, and
Crazy.
I've been around some bodybuilders. That
They posted it up like they.
yeah,
Oh really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if I could find it quickly. Let me see. Liver King Cycle.
But it just ties into everything we've been talking about. It's like you would look at him. People would look at him and be like, oh, all he eats is liver. And he
Bro,
looks
I
like
had
that.
dumbass people I know, friends of mine. Y'all know who you are. That thought that he was natural. I'm like, you are
Nah,
fucking
there's no-
stupid.
Yeah.
If you think that dude is natural, yeah, we got about as natural as a Pop-Tart. Sure. Yeah, $12K a month.
That's
month.
wild.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Could at least a Cullinan. Are you fucking crazy?
That's crazy.
I don't know all of these steroidal compounds, but it says somebody. I guess this is the email that leaked. King brand, the goal of blah blah blah.
Yeah, it was a
1GF,
laundry list.
1GF.
Absolute laundry list.
IGF-1 LR. Been taking this for a year. CJC with IMAP. Ibutamorin, Omnitrope, Test,
I've heard of that.
Deca, and Winstrol.
Yeah.
Winstraw, I've heard of that too.
Yep.
You guys ever look into any peptides before?
I have BPC 157. I was interested in when I hurt my ankle.
Yeah.
I know
Blokes
the
was
government.
telling me about that.
I
Yeah.
know the government shut that down. Huberman's talked a lot about it, and I have a couple of people that I know that have taken it. You know, the issue with at least that peptide is it helps with healing,
Yeah.
but it also will grow tumors that are So if you
Yeah.
have things that are in your system, it will also aid in the growth of those as well. So that's why I just kind of Huberman was talking about it. He's got a whole podcast on it, and he knows a lot more than I do. but he was talking specifically that there's a ton of animal trials and not a lot of human trials.
Is Huberman the neuroscientist?
Yeah, he's the
the guy
He's
with
on
the
Joe Rogan?
podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I take BPC myself on a case-by-case basis if I get like a small injury.
Are you still able to get it? Because it's tough to get.
I have a friend who owns a company.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah, so he sends us some. Also on that
I'm
list.
learning. Hey, listen, I learn, man. I'm learning.
Also on that list, the Liver King list was the CJC.
Yes.
$12.95 probably. I actually take that for the growth hormone.
Yep, CJC with
Increase in
IMAP.
growth hormone.
Wow.
So CJC and ipamorelin, those two peptides are the growth hormone secretagogues. And I mean, people take them for like anti-aging purposes, but I mean, I've taken them and I love them.
That's
Like,
I guess
they're
that
great.
could be in conjunction with the NAD for anti-aging.
Uh,
NAD plus, right?
yeah, it's not the same. Like,
No, I know different. I'm saying, but like
Yeah,
anti-aging would be
yeah.
another compound would be the
would be a good compound for anti-aging. But yeah, I love the growth hormone peptides. They're great. I take them five times a week. Cycled them twice. Doesn't affect negatively any of your endogenous hormone production, and there's not any side effects that I'm worried about. So I love them.
How's you been getting into MMA, right? Training.
Yeah,
a little
Muay
bit down
Thai.
there?
Yeah, I'm training at a gym in St. Petersburg right now.
How's that been going?
shout that gym out. What gym is that?
Inside Control Academy. Shout out.
Heyo!
Inside
Oh, yeah.
control. Love that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But yeah, Muay Thai is fun. It's a lot of fun just switching up like your training modalities. So
Yeah.
I went straight from bodybuilding. I was bulking hard when I got
You're
to
big. You're
when I got to Florida.
a big boy.
Yeah, now I'm probably like 10 pounds down, but I feel great. I feel more flexible. I feel
You feel athletic.
I feel athletic. Yeah, and
Weird
I
how when you switch that training up, it's just so different. Your body
Yeah.
just adapts to the new way. And although, we're conditioned when you go to that bodybuilding style, we're conditioned to want to be bigger, fuller, all this stuff. But you start doing this
Mm-hmm.
type of training, Muay Thai, functional, and you start to not shrink, but you get athletic.
yeah.
And you're like, wow, I just feel great now.
Yeah, you could actually like hold your ground. You could move your body in ways that you couldn't when you're just a big block of meat. But I found that the bodybuilding stuff was kind of turned into an empty road for me. Like there's no end in sight. You just keep getting bigger and bigger. You keep lifting more and more weight. It's like
Well, you look at the older guys that are in the gym, the dudes that are like furniture in the gym whatever gym you go to.
yeah,
They're still hitting the same splits and they're still doing the same thing. And it's just like,
yeah.
I don't want to end up like that. I just can't do it. Even the dudes that competed when I was competing in bodybuilding, I looked at them. Even just recently, I was shooting a video at a gym and one of the guys was just like, oh, I got second at nationals. That's okay. Next year. Dude's like 60 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, go fucking play with your grandkids. like,
I mean, I guess if they really love it,
yeah,
it makes sense for them. But I just don't. I don't love it.
But a lot of people pretend like they love it. They love the cycle of it.
I mean, they could
They
latch
love
their
the
identity onto it.
Exactly. They
Probably
love
because
they
they
love
don't-
the
yeah.
span of on season versus off season. They love getting into prep. They love getting out of prep and eating whatever the fuck they want. It's like a very unhealthy relationship when you are blocking off 16 to 18 weeks per prep, not prep, not prep. And they just love that dopamine that they get. Buzzword. They love that dopamine that they get from buzzword. Yeah, I do that now.
That's funny.
They love that dopamine that they get from just like chasing something. It's just like, bro, you're really just gonna be hammering steroids still? Like, just you're for a plastic trophy? I don't know. To me, it's ridiculous. Do something that actually gets you to be more functional. The more
Yeah.
that I'm learning this stuff, when you don't have to do 360-pound sandbag like Tom, but like to actually do sandbag training the first couple of times, that's gonna humble the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh shit, like I gotta dead this off and then get it to my shoulder and then drop it back down and do it again. But that girl that was training at your gym that time, what did I say to her? I forget her name. The one who wants to be a firefighter. I forget her name.
Chantel.
Yeah, I was like, yo, she wants to be a firefighter, and she's struggling with the
Yeah, we
sandbag
were
towards the last
screaming at
sets.
her,
I was
yeah.
like, what's gonna happen when you gotta drag one of your fellow firefighters out of a fire? That's
true.
Let's go,
Yeah.
get your ass up.
Yeah.
Like, and she was just that gets you to that point.
Yep.
Well, yeah, like based on that, I would categorize a training style like Tom's gym, or like learning how to fight or learning like jujitsu or anything. It's a very masculine way to approach your training. Bodybuilding is very feminine. If you look at it objectively, like the training style of like going to the gym and doing like 15 reps.
See how he changed his face? See how he
Let me relax and go on my phone for 3 minutes in between my set. Let me scroll Instagram. oh, I'm so sore. Like
It's true, but it's
kind of
true,
it's
yeah.
just kind of like a very emasculating way to train.
Well, you're
So
training for a beauty pageant. That's
You
what
are
it is.
training for a
You
beauty
don't have
pageant.
to actually perform.
It's
That's the
all
thing.
it's all
Bodybuilding-
aesthetics. There's no discipline.
Yeah.
There's no like you could still show up, but it's not necessarily hard. Bodybuilding is not hard.
Bodybuilding is like taking like a giant stone and like etching it out with a chisel, right? Which is pretty cool. Like some of it is majestic in a sense where guys go and pose on stage, like seeing how the body really looks. It's pretty cool in certain senses, but like you said, it is very feminine because it's all it is. It's looks. There are some bodybuilders out there that are strong as fuck, but like I said the last time, there are some guys who just aren't strong at all. You put a barbell, right? A perfectly symmetrical line of steel, right? Perfect edges, knurling, the points are where you're supposed to grab, perfectly calibrated plates. Cool, great. Sandbags, that's not perfectly calibrated. That's an awkward object, a person, a body, right? Like my mom fell 3 years ago. She fell at the house. She screamed and she was like on the fucking floor like a pretzel. And I'm like, oh, all right. She's 120 pounds. I got under her. I squatted down. I picked her up. I put her on the bed. She looks at me. She's like, how the fuck did you do that? I go, Mom, I lift 200-pound bags all the fucking time. Like all the time. But
Tom's so strong, he throws her through the ceiling on accident.
I killed my mom. I killed my mom.
He's like, you're a quarter of my PR.
Tom, don't toss her.
Yeah. Sorry, I had
down
to make a
gently.
joke. I had to make a joke.
Nah, but hey, listen, man, it's true because I picked her up like holy shit, like she feels like a fucking feather. But people don't look at that in regular gyms. That's why I was talking about last time. Like bodybuilding in Esk is like just very portrayed. It's the normal in commercial gyms. There's machines everywhere. There's chest flies. There's T-bar rows. There's fucking squat racks. But is it really going to make you functional? Is it really going to make you healthy? Is it really going to make you strong?
Is it going to build your mental resilience? That's like a big big masculine aspect about like approaching training like that in like a disciplined manner.
Pain.
Yeah. But
Get through the warm up at Tom's. Get through the warm up at Tom's.
literally, I do the warm up at Tom's. I'm like, damn, I'm about to actually work out right now.
Oh, we had Erica and fucking Audra come through for the workout.
Yeah.
And they looked at each other. They went, "Oh, that was the warm up."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, you thought this was gonna be cake. It's not."
Your warm-ups should feel like workouts. Shout out to Jason Soulfit, Wes Beans, Jose, those three main guys that really taught me that. Was like when I first started working out with them, like I think the one warm-up with Wes was 3 sets, 3 rounds. 50 cal bike, 50 ab rollouts. Next, 50 kettlebell swings, 50 pull-ups. After that, fucking 50 half get-ups and 50 cal ski. I'm fucking dying.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're going to get into the work. 6 rounds, deadlifts, double cleans, sleds, bench. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is terrible. But as I started to adapt myself to that style of training, I'm like, oh, I see why these warm-ups are so fucking hard because it preps you to get into the main work. Because a warm-up, most people do, what is it? Some fucking arm circles and, you know,
I used to hit the dumbbell like this on
like
the rack.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really working
I'm really warming up,
my rotator cuff.
Warming up my shoulders. And then you got Tom fucking with the 140 pounds just.
I was showing Sarah's today. I was showing them your videos of you snatching a 56 kilogram kettlebell, and one of the dudes just goes, "Yo, my arm would explode." It would just like explode.
But training like that also builds your connective tissues as well. Like it stems more to like just building your muscles, right? You're also really preparing your connective tissues as they get stronger as you put them through that wear and tear. Like eventually your body is going to be able to handle that stress. Like me having a 56 kilo bell over my head, like I have to make sure that I'm in the good line of fucking range for that. And my elbows and my wrists have to take that. Because the way my wrist has to be, if I flex like this or if I'm down, that shit's coming right on my fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dying. That's a fucking cannonball hitting me right in the head. So, but also your body and your nervous system has to be able to handle that load as well. Same thing with sandbags, same things with a deadlift, right?
Which I find funny, and not to cut you off, but I find funny because you're saying you have to load your CNS to get you to that point. When people make fun of you for getting that super heavy kettlebell, maybe the first couple times you can only swing it light, a couple of times, if that. And now you start getting it more and more, and you start working it more and more.
And all of a sudden he's flipping it.
Yeah. 2 swings turn to 10, 10 swings turn to 20, and you start to get to that point where your body has now taken that process and that loading, and it's just like, oh, we're just gonna put it to the forefront now. It's not as hard as it was when we first started.
Yeah. My style of training, it gets you strong. Like, do I have a physique? Yeah, but if I ate healthier, I would have a better physique. But it just gets you fucking strong. Like, being able to flip a 176-pound kettlebell, like that's a human being. Like I could just fucking toss around like nothing. You know what I mean? Like it just gets you strong in all different types of avenues for jiu-jitsu, for Muay Thai, for firefighters, for police officers. Like it's really fucking cool. And you know, going back to the bodybuilding stuff, like it's cool, but you know, it's not the end all be all on what people have to do.
I thought for a long time that I could just eat fish and do these stairs for an hour every single day for the rest of my life. And I'm very happy that I woke up from that because that would be a very sad existence.
Yeah. Emasculating.
Just beat me down into submission, man.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier. Just like, oh God.
It's funny. I think a bunch of people will show up to your gym, like big bodybuilders, thinking that they're strong. And then they try doing the stuff that you guys do. And they realize they're not actually strong. They're like strong in very niche lifts, say bench press. I mean,
that's it.
I realized this. I realized this at your gym.
Bro, it's so annoying when these motherfuckers come in. Yeah, I can bench 3 plates. I can bench 4 plates. Okay, but I'm doing cleans. We're doing the sled. We're doing sandbags. Motherfucker, you're benching 2 plates for your second set, but you're lifting up my 50-pound bag. Let me see you do 6 rounds of everything, going up in weight on everything, rather than just your bench, your squat, and your deadlift. Like me, there's sometimes, no, like there are guys that come to my gym, like, yeah, they deadlift more than me, they bench more than me, but I'm going heavier in everything else. So it's like, it's really not that impressive to me. Like, all right, you could deadlift 5 plates for 3, but you're staying at the 50-pound bell doing cleans when I'm at 150 doing single arm cleans. Like, that's probably the most annoying thing when I have guys coming in. It's like, dude, you're a savage. Prove it. Like, all right, cool. You could bench. You could deadlift. That's cute. Let's see everything else, you know?
Yeah, it's such an arbitrary metric too. And like a lot of guys will attach their identity to being like, I could bench 3 plates, but it's like, what does that actually do for you?
Nothing.
Besides a number that you could just like...
It's numbers.
Well, when they actually need to use it, they're going to look for the bar. They're like, well, did it knurling? That's weird. Like, oh, mom fell? Oh, can I attach a handle to her to pick her up and row her? Yeah.
Your weight is unevenly distributed. I can't pick you up.
How dare you do this? I've been training for years in a way that only is the best way possible.
The knurlings wear it out, bro.
Yeah.
I need a new barbell.
Well, no, they don't want tough knurling though. They want baby. By the way, I've been sanding my calluses down.
Yeah.
Very excited about that because I was tired of having my hands rip at his fucking gym.
Yeah, I would like shave mine and clip mine before I go to Tom's gym because my hands would be all bloody.
No, I rip every time I'm there. I rip my hands open. You said your hands were raw?
No, like 3 weeks ago I had 2 rips. Yeah, that shit fucking hurts.
I got the callus bar. I didn't get Calicure.
Oh, you got something else?
I got a different brand. Just sitting there in my kitchen, sanding my hands down. Good times. My dog's looking at me like I'm a psychopath. I'm like, it's just the adverse is horrific. So let me just sit here and sand these bitches down. So back to you. You're going back to Nevada. You're going to Nevada.
Yeah.
And you're going to be working with your buddy out there. Mm-hmm. And you guys are going to be creating more products together or just working on your respective companies? So
we have our own respective companies. We're releasing a new company. We don't have a timeline for it yet, but we're going to be working on it while we're there.
Cool.
I mean, I don't. There's nothing much to talk about it. It's just going to be a new company between me and him. But
that's awesome. I look forward to hearing about it when the time comes.
We both have like our business expertise now. We've both been working on our own companies for like 2 years now, and we're ready to like take it to the next level.
Super cool, man. It's very inspiring because my business requires me to be places, like actually present at places. Mm-hmm. It's very cool that you're able to create these companies and businesses in a remote sense. Obviously, you still go to the manufacturers, you still travel around, and like you said, you're going to go to Thailand, and we went to Canada to go actually see the harvesting and everything. That's awesome. But for you to be able to have the ability to travel around and have these companies almost not self-sustaining because they had to get to that point in some way from you to start it, but to be able to scale remotely is inspiring. It's actually awesome.
Yeah, and it's probably been the single most life-changing thing that I've done for myself because my business is, for the best way to put it, just like kind of autonomous now.
Yeah.
It kind of just feeds itself. I do like a handful of required tasks per week, but if I want to just take a couple of days off and travel somewhere, I do that.
It's awesome.
And yeah, it definitely took a lot of work on the come up. Like I remember when I used to work at Unique, I was a personal trainer there. I was in that gym, physically in that gym, 8 to 10 hours a day. I would only have maybe 1 to 2 hours to cook and eat for myself. And then the rest of the time from when I got home at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock to when I went to sleep, which was like 11, 12, I would always work on the business. So there was a period of time where I was working like 60, 70 hours per week. And I did that for a year straight. And that's the type of grind that it took at the beginning to be able to create something that now is pretty autonomous. And it's because I put that hard work in up front. And it's cool to it's cool to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but like you're never going to get anywhere and feel completely satisfied. Like a lot of people will say to me, it's like, oh, you made it. Like you made it. If I get to the point where you're at, I'll finally be happy. And then it's like you get to this point, and the human purpose is to always like keep working towards something else, keep working towards more. So it's important to, now that I have all this time on my hands, to just not like waste it and get lazy. And always be working towards something bigger.
You're mad young, man. You have so much time. You have so much time. It's crazy. I have so much time, I think. I don't know.
You do.
Yeah, maybe.
You do.
At this point. Everyone keeps telling me I got a lot of time. I don't really feel like I have time. But you have so much time and the ability to do so many different things. And think about the average 24-year-old in your shoes, not in your shoes, opposite of you. Mm-hmm. They're not only have they not created a business, most of them, but they haven't traveled outside of the country. They haven't done all these things. They haven't been able to say that they've grinded and built something from the ground up, and they may never be able to say that. So you're doing it so young. I mean, you look at those metrics when they show, like, not that I like him because I don't. I think he's a cunt, but Bill Gates or all these guys, like you see these guys and they're like, oh, didn't get successful until 50 or 60 or this and that. It's like, you're 24, bro. That's crazy. You have so much time to do whatever you want as you continue to scale as a human, not even company-wise, because you're going to do that automatically.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, man. I'm happy that now Tom has linked us so I can see the journey and just watch you do your thing, bro. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, scaling as a human. I like that. Now that I have all this free time on my hands, I literally just like fixate on something. I just love learning. Yeah. Like learning and knowledge is so powerful. And the more knowledge you have, the more skills that you're able to collect. It just makes you better. It makes you more marketable. It makes you more valuable to other people and valuable in contributing to society and like changing lives.
He's gonna be doing side quests out here. We're gonna see him like
my life is.
We're gonna see him at a pickleball championship in a week.
Eric's life is a role playing.
My life is literally just side quests. At this point, just
like fuck it. I did this great thing, and now I can just do other things. It's like, he's like, wait, what were those things called in Thailand? Lady boy? No,
no, not that.
I'm dead. The Hangover.
Yeah.
Part 2.
You know what? If I ever go to Thailand, I gotta like at least see it. I'm just curious. I just want to see them do their thing.
See lady dicks?
I've already seen dick. I got one. So I mean, seeing another dick is not gonna really faze me that much. I just want to see it attached to somebody else in a Thailand type setting.
You ever see the Hangover movies?
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I'm not touching it. No, we're not touching it.
Why do you want to see it?
I don't know. Just I'm curious, man. It's an experience. I'm in it for the bit. I'm in it for the story.
Okay.
I was in Thailand.
I guess I can make it.
I stumbled into a bar, saw a lady boy.
One of the guys goes, "Is this a magic show? Am I being tricked? Am I being tricked?"
Bro, I mean, I feel like it's synonymous with Thailand in some ways. I'm definitely oversimplifying an entire country, but I feel like Japan. You go see sumo wrestling.
Sumo wrestling in Japan,
or video games in Tokyo.
I went to Japan. I didn't see anything about sumo wrestling. I'm not gonna lie.
That is horrific because sumo wrestling looks sick.
Yeah, it does. It does look
so
sick.
bad. There was actually sumo wrestling at Madison Square Garden. I wanted to go so bad.
That's great.
I didn't secure the tickets.
Yeah.
It was just so much money.
Well, that's what Tom's gonna do after Strongman. He's gonna become the sumo wrestling.
Get really fat.
Just
get really fat.
We just add more burgers and we just negate the training in certain ways.
No more
more burgers, less cardio.
No more ski erg and no more assault bike. That's
no more. What part of Japan did you go to?
I went to all over Japan, so I was in the main city, Tokyo, Hakone, Kyoto.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, I want to go.
Trip.
Yeah,
I want to go to Japan so bad.
I want to play Pokemon.
I want to learn how to speak Japanese.
Can I be honest with you? You can play Pokemon here. You don't have to go there to play Pokemon.
Yeah, but it's like the heart of it all.
So what do you want to play Pokemon Go there, or you want to?
When I was a kid, I would actually want to buy the games in Japanese.
Fuck yeah!
I bought the game in Japanese. The silver. Yeah. I had silver.
I think I had the same exact
Soul Silver.
In Japanese. Yeah.
No idea what I was reading, but I caught things.
It was an authentic experience. You're like,
I had no idea what move I was doing, but I knew that bottom left one was fucking people up. That was awesome.
Because that's like the origin of all like the video games and the characters.
Yeah.
I would love to go see that. 'Cause that's like culture at this point. Like,
Yeah.
but Dragon Ball Z, like Akira Toriyama, like wherever all that stuff is, that's like culture now for all of us at this point. Every fucking dude growing up watched Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Every single person, and they found some type of motivation from it.
Oh, yeah.
So like to see that, like the origins, or like where it is, like that, to me, that's culture. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sick. I want to go up to Akita, where the Akitas were, I guess, created in the mountainous regions. I'd love to do Okinawa all the way up. So go south to north, hit the beaches, do some snorkeling, and then you go all the way north and like you end your trip snowboarding or something because it's all cold up there. That would be sick. Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta go to Austin. We got a lot of places to go.
I love Austin. Austin is great.
Did you work out with Jared and them when you were down there?
I didn't work out with Jared, but yeah, I met Jared the first time I went to Austin.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Shouts to the crazy trainer.
You a bitch. Love you, Jared.
So now, what's the timeline for rest of trip? You're hanging in New York for a little while now for the rest of the week.
Yeah, just for the rest of the week, and then I'm going back to Florida until
Back
the end
to
of
Florida?
August. And then, I don't really plan anything. I kind of just buy one-way flights and I just go places.
I gotta start doing that. See, the issue is I got the dog. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the dog, I'd be a little bit more free to just like go anywhere I want.
I would love a dog, but yeah.
It
would definitely tie me down.
puts a speed bump in being able to do things like that. Especially because he has medicine that he needs every 12 hours.
Mhm.
So it's like then you can't even just board him. I have to have my mom watch him, or because I can only trust her to get the pills the exact timing that it needs to get done.
Yeah.
So it puts he's amazing. Puts a roadblock on it. I'm gonna sell the BMW. I'm gonna get a fucking Toyota. I'm going on road trips. I'm bringing the pod. I'm gonna be talking to random ass people at gas stations. Hell yeah, crazy shit. Okay. And
It's a better way of living, man. Like living below your needs, or like realizing that certain materialistic things, and to a certain extent, like is not worth it. Like,
well, even when you get a crazy amounts of money, you hear constantly about people that it doesn't fulfill it. Like they just at some point
It doesn't.
At some point you just buy all the stupid shit that you could buy, and you're just like,
you get
okay.
used to it.
Yeah.
all. You
I mean,
get used to it.
I made a good amount of money Q4 last year. Like a lot more money than I needed. 100% more money than I needed. I was like, all right, let me try buying some crazy expensive shit. So I bought like a $4,000 backpack I have right here. And I was like,
Put the backpack on the table.
I bought this fucking
Yeah.
Gucci backpack, and I was,
Is it Louis or Gucci?
it's Gucci.
Gucci.
I was like, it was cool for like a week, and I was like, this shit's kind of lame. I bought a
It's true.
$150,000 car. I bought a G-Wagon.
did you?
Yeah, and I drove it around for a few months. It was like cool, but I mean, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fun.
selling the car. Like I'm
It's
getting rid
fun.
of the car.
It's the same thing when I got my S5. My S5 was my favorite car ever.
Yeah.
That was my pride and joy. I wanted an S5 for so long, and I got it, and it was the most exciting thing in the world. But 3 months into it, it's like, okay, it's a car.
Yeah.
I don't know. There wasn't that wow factor anymore, and that's the cycle that we all get kind of caught into.
Yeah, materialism, and it's an empty path because it's just no bit different than any other dopamine inducing thing.
Buzzword.
Buzzword. But you're so fixated on getting somewhere, like to achieve some materialistic desire, thinking that when you finally achieve that materialistic desire, it's going to inherently change your life in some way. But you're still the same person. You just have a fucking retarded backpack. You're still the same person. You just have a retarded expensive car.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't change anything about who you are as a person. And if you want to be a more interesting person, got to become a more interesting person.
Yeah,
Material items aren't going to make you more interesting.
You got to read. You got to go do experiences. Like I'm in it for the story. I'm in it for the bit. I
Yeah.
want to go just do things and see things and talk to people and hang out. And
Yeah.
you learn so much by just hanging out with other people.
The scariest thing is that when people in society, like they're so stressed about getting to where they want to be, they're unhappy. But I think the most terrifying thing is that when you get to where you want to be and you're still lost, you're still not happy.
How many people do you see like that?
You know?
Infinite.
Yeah, it's a lot. And society and people now, like they think that if you get the body that you want, get the car that you want, you get the job that you want. Like me, my all-time goal of my life was to open up a gym. No matter how big or small it was. And I did it, and it was cool, but then I realized, wow, this is a lot of fucking work. This is a lot of shit. Like now I just get pissed off of one of my assault bikes. Like they start fucking beeping and they start going nuts, and I'm just like, fuck, I gotta change the batteries again. I gotta take out the garbage. I gotta make sure everything's all aligned and all this shit. It's a lot of work. Yeah, I love it. Like I'll be doing this shit for the rest of my life. But it gets to a point where you realize that where you are is like, okay, I'm here, but like, am I really happy? Is this really fulfilling to me? And a lot of people got to think about that too.
That was one of the things with me is like I wanted to get my own studio, and then after I wanted to get my own office, and then once I got my own office, it's like, well, I want to get bigger clients, and then I got bigger clients, and then it was like, well, now I want a bigger office, and it's just you're constantly scaling.
Yeah.
But the years are going by, and you're not actually enjoying the process. You're constantly looking for the next pinnacle moment that's just going to be the mountaintop. It's like great, but then the mountain keeps growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to find enjoyment in whatever it is you're doing and not do it for an end goal, right?
The highest point is Everest, but then you look up, you're like, oh shit, there's more. There's space.
Yeah.
There's Everest, the highest point, and then you're like, oh wow, there's space, and that shit goes on forever. So that correlates to life. You got to enjoy it and enjoy the process because you're gonna keep wanting more. You guys ever see like it's a reel? It's like a stick figure like running, and there's like a money bag in front of it, and as it keeps running, it starts to deteriorate. It starts to turn into a skeleton, and then it goes into the grave. And the caption is, you're so obsessed with running and trying to chase the bag, but you don't realize that you're going into your grave at the same time.
Yep. Well, dude, I mean, Architects, the song "Curse."
Oh yeah,
heaven came with a curse.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
it's crazy, bro. It's just my mom and I have been big on just like trying to live more presently, slowing down. Like I had talked to you before we cut the mics on and before Tom got here. Just I know I need to leave Long Island. I know I have to leave Long Island.
Yeah.
It is prodding me to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
I'm killing myself financially and shooting myself in the foot. I make great money. But the fact that I make great money and I still have to look at the grocery bill like, really?
Yeah.
Or the rent is how much for this space? I just know that there's more out there. There is different. And that's the scary part of having to, that you have to do something, but you just, I just don't want to do it yet. Not necessarily because it's outside of your comfort zone, but because it's going to be a challenge and a grind to get to where you are currently here.
Mm-hmm.
But living below your means, all these things, I know I don't need that much. I don't need that much. And I have to slow it down and break it down. So you pay off credit cards, you pay all these things off. But the important thing is once you do that, don't get back into it. Like that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, but once that credit card shows a zero balance, you go, oh, fuck it. I'll just go get something. That's the trick that we all fall into. That's me, bro. That's me. I was telling him I bought the Cook lens. The one that's on you right now that I filmed you with at your gym. I wanted that lens for so long. I bought that lens and I bought the wide version of it. Right when I bought them, slowest 2 months of my business. $9,000.
Yeah.
I just spent $9,000 on top of my monthly bills.
Yep.
I was like, didn't need that. Yeah. So it's like, everyone keeps talking about new cameras and shit like that. I would normally be so on the trend of just buying new, more gear, more this, more that. I don't give a fuck anymore. All the stuff that I have is way better than 99% of other people that do this shit. So I'm good. I'm staying right here.
Yep.
Unless something like actually breaks or I have to send it in, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
We spent the loot, we're here. I don't need to spend another 2 bands just to then now, oh great. That's like a job or half a job to pay this off, but it's like I don't want to have to keep mentally keeping track and living like that.
It's how you use it. My gym's small as fuck, but you guys keep coming back, right? I keep producing strong people. People keep coming back to me. Why? Because I know how to mitigate and I know how to produce good training in that sense. Because I don't have machines, I don't have a fucking big setup, but we make it work. And there's a reason why people keep coming back. It's just how you use it. That's it.
And you built a really good community and environment too.
Yeah.
Like I love going there just because I have so much fun and I love the people.
Yeah, everybody's great, man. Everybody at my gym's great. It's community. Everything about gyms and fitness is community. If I didn't have a good community, if it sucked, then people wouldn't come back. Like it's different when the workouts are great. I put more into the workouts, if anything. But when you have a good community and people uplifting you and working with you, like I talked about before, I hated working out with people when I was younger. Now I if I don't have somebody in the gym with me, I'm like, fuck, like this kind of sucks by myself. But I enjoy being around people.
Misery loves company, man. I love it when people are suffering with me in a workout.
Yep.
Because then it actually helps me to push forward even more.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if he's able to do it, especially with Tyler, like if he's able to do it, fuck, I got to get this.
Like, I'm not going to be the biggest bitch in this.
Yeah. No, man, I'm not letting Tyler.
Race
I'm not
to the
letting
top.
Tyler out endurance me.
I was T.
He's good. He got bitchy with me before. He got all angry because I said that he's more emotional than Gabe.
Tyler. That makes him more emotional.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I got emotional when I called him
makes
emotional.
More emotional.
Yeah, I wasn't saying anything bad. I was just saying, I feel like he's just more emotional than Gabe. I just feel like
you,
Gabe
Tyler.
rolls shit off his shoulders more, and he was just like, he's like, oh, gee, thanks. I'm like, and then he stopped answering all of us. I'm like, whatever, bro.
Love you, T.
We love you, man. Stop being a little bitch. Go run.
That's great.
Go run with Pooch. So when are you going to go to the Strength Factory this week?
Whenever you're going.
I'm going to go tomorrow. Or you can't go tomorrow.
I can't go tomorrow, but any day this week I could go.
Until what day are you here? Is it open-ended ticket still?
Yeah, open-ended ticket. I'm trying to stay here until next weekend. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
there's only so many days I could stay here where I'm just like, all right, I got to get back to work.
Yeah.
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 All right, so we'll figure it out. I got to film him one day this week. We got to do some stuff for ABE, and then I also want to obviously train.
Yeah.
So Sunday I'll train with you, and then maybe Monday.
That place is going to kick my ass, though. I haven't seriously hit my legs in like a month and a half.
What day are you hitting legs?
Because you just
Yeah, which day are you hitting legs so I could avoid that day?
well, what do you guys want to do?
I don't care. You're the guru.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'll do whatever, but
So we did box squats yesterday. What you guys want to work out with me, or you want to do a class?
you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll work out with you.
All right. So then,
That's morning, right?
Yeah, we did deadlifts today. I mean, my training cycle starts every Sunday, so it resets every Sunday.
what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I don't fucking know. I don't think of it before. Maybe we'll do that. I don't plan on anything.
Literally in the first episode
know.
one. Well, what do I feel like doing today?
Yeah, literally. I do not plan out anything. All the guys like, yo, how do you get all your programming? How do you do this? I go, I don't fucking know. I just,
My brain thing.
Yeah, I just
My
think of
brain.
it like how he does it with life, like just like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a one-way trip. I mean, that's with me with the workouts.
Yeah.
They
Whatever,
get a
you know.
one-way
Isn't it so funny?
I'm just gonna get a one-way trip in this workout. We'll see what happens. If I blow my shoulder out, if something happens, all right, whatever.
You just very confidently write down the programming, and people are like, damn, he's a genius.
What do I say every time? I go,
So I was like half asleep.
yeah, it's 7 a.m.
what do I say?
one
It's like the
open.
emerald tablets of
Hieroglyphic.
stone tablets. It's hieroglyphs in Egypt. That's what this looks like. People are like, oh my God, what is this ancient writing? It's like, just Tom half asleep trying to. That's probably what half the hieroglyphs were. Just some dude just chiseling like half asleep.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I gotta do this again.
I wake up and I just go to the gym. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever you guys come, we'll figure it out. We'll have fun. We'll get it going.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then how can people support, check you out? Want to put the plug in there?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me on my personal Instagram, it's Erik Jasper Kier. X is Erik Jasper Kier, and then base is base Supps on Twitter, base supplements on Instagram, and if you want to check out the website, it's basedsupplements.com. Yeah, and I'll create a coupon code for anyone that watches
cool.
the
Yeah,
podcast.
for sure.
We'll plug it. But yeah, we're releasing new products. Yeah, we're releasing the Butea Superba in August. Black Ginger is going to follow right after. Shilajit, Pine Pollen, always available. So yeah, check them out. Try them out. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. It's awesome. I love when, Tom comes through. We're doing trying to do weekly episodes every other week at minimum. But dude, I think we're all on the same brainwave. We just like to sit down, hang out, chop it up with really good dope people. So
Yeah.
that's what this community tribalism, that's what this is, energy right when you meet somebody. It's like, that energy sucks, man. I don't want to be around you.
Yep.
Let alone do a podcast with you. I don't want to do anything. Just get the fuck out.
Energy drainers.
Oh
They're
man.
the worst.
Okay, so I'm gonna trail off for a second. Have you ever seen the show? It's that vampire show on FX,
I definitely haven't watched
From the
it.
Shadows or something like that.
Vampire show?
They have different vampires.
Okay.
And one of them is an energy vampire.
Oh God.
I gotta show you guys when we cut the cameras. It is hysterical. I'm gonna show you guys right after. I forget what episode this is. I think this is like 105 or 106. Let me end off with like actually knowing what episode we're on. This way I don't sound like an asshole. Even though I sound like an asshole.
I'm gonna say 106.
I think it's 106. I think I was 105 with you.
Yeah.
Yep. 106. Episode 106, Rizzology with my man Erik. Base Supps. Base Supps or supplements?
Yeah, base supplements, base ups.
Base supplements. Check them out. Check out the actual product. I'm going to start using these 2 tablets down for today. I'm not taking the entire sleeve like his psycho friends, but I'm sure. I mean, if it gets me that mega mind, I might have to do a sleeve a day now.
Yeah.
Just start getting so crazy.
You're like, damn,
Mission.
this shit actually feels pretty good.
I'm so clear, and then I'll start doing calculus on the walls. You guys come in next time.
The whole sleeve is wild.
I'm like, I got this I got these mathematics I'm trying to figure out, guys. Don't take it away from him. And he's horny. Just print up all doing the math. Episode 106, Rizzology with Erik and Tom. I appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out with me.
Always.
Appreciate all you guys for listening to us. I'm going to put all the links for everything down below. Coupon code, whatever it is that we'll
I'll make one for us. You just plug it.
All good. I appreciate you guys. On that note, I appreciate all y'all for fucking with us, but I appreciate all of y'all for fucking with us. Jesus Christ. But for now, peace.
Peace.
Peace.